Player 2 has entered the game.
What is up, survivors? I am Player 2, and from what seems to be out of nowhere, a gameplay trailer for an upcoming open-world zombie survival game was just released, announcing a new IP by the name of The Day Before. And oh my Lanta, this trailer looks groundbreaking for the genre while also throwing up some red flags. But I digress. If you want to stay up to date on new open world games, consider subscribing. We get exclusive reveals, live interviews with game developers like that of Dead Matter and Scum, for instance, and first looks at upcoming titles. But let's take a look at this trailer, break it down, and talk about some of the game features that have been revealed. The very first thing that I want to mention is that right off the bat, I was getting a feeling of familiarity with the setting, the character movement, and really the overall ambience of the trailer. And if you played the 2016 looter shooter Tom Clancy's The Division, you probably are feeling the same thing while watching this gameplay. Aside from the zombies, of course, the New York post-apocalyptic environment and movement animations of the character is almost identical to that of The Division. Now, this is both good and bad. Good because The Division honestly had a beautiful landscape and you had very versatile control of your character. But bad because, I mean, it looks like they are the same assets that were used in Tom Clancy's game. Now, it could be that I'm just being overzealous, but the two are eerily similar. We'll touch more on this later. Now, once I got past that and started looking into the actual game features, I really liked some of the stuff that I was seeing. The Day Before is an open-world survival game, so you'll notice at least some basic survival features in the bottom left of your interface. You've got the snowflake, which monitors your player's temperature. You'll actually see that drop here in a minute. The lightning bolt, which is synonymous with the energy or stamina, and the water droplet, which, as you'll see in a second, is your thirst meter. Not sure if they haven't finished the work on hunger or if that is something that they're not even considering for this game. But let's keep moving. The next feature of The Day Before is Survivor Colonies. These seem to function as some type of player hub and safe zone where you can buy and sell items, as well as link up with other players. It's unclear as to whether this will be one location or many, and if there will be any type of factions for the players to choose between, though that is definitely something that I'd like to see in the game. Next, we get a look at the inventory system, and honestly, it seems super basic. Now, to be fair, they do expand upon it with the crafting menu that I'll show you here in a second, but here they've got the loot to the left, which is stuff on the ground, then everything you're carrying, and this dude's carrying a Walkman, which is cool, maybe offering players some Fallout-esque opportunities to listen to some radio stations while you scavenge. Then they've got a very basic 3 slots for gear, outerwear, pants, and backpack, as well as headwear and armor to the right. So that might leave room for diversity of gear sets. And lastly, they have the weapon slots, which they have a primary and a secondary, which more often than not, when those slots are labeled that way, it often points to being a looter-shooter type game. Now, I seriously do hope that they expand upon this inventory system, because if I'm being honest, the gameplay that we're seeing just really doesn't match up with this inventory layout that they currently have. But I mean, who knows? This could be just an alpha build that they're working on as we speak. But next up, we have another addition to The Day Before's survival mechanics with its consumable menu. Here we have bandages, then what I assume is a splint, which means that players can have broken legs, a med kit, and then what I'm guessing are painkillers. You'll also have an equipment section, which I'll go out on a limb here and say is for throwables like grenades, molotovs, or flashbangs. And then below that, you'll see that you need herbs and rags to craft bandages, which is a nice little touch in light of survival. Now, The Day Before's trailer has some very cool instances where I'm actually very impressed, and I'm hoping that some of these little things they demonstrate are not just propaganda and will actually make it into the regular gameplay. At one point, there's a clip where the character takes an elevator up to a secluded floor to look for his buddy and finds a ton of zombies that seem to be undisturbed by the player. This would imply that there's a sneaking element to the gameplay that you'll be able to utilize for certain situations. And the scene where the player pulls up to the corner store in Brooklyn in a vehicle, drivable vehicles in a downtown NYC environment, that'd be nuts if it's well optimized. Or there's another clip where a horde of Zeds begins to swarm in as it hears the gunfight between the character and the other players ensue. I actually want you to get the full ambience of the trailer to take it in and kind of tell me what you think, so I'm going to just play it for you. Skip ahead to the next timestamp if you don't want to watch the trailer. Now bear in mind the things that I've said earlier. At the end of this trailer, we can discuss system requirements and some info about the developer that I think you need to know. And forewarning, all characters you see in the game are meant to be real players, and the voice acting is very, very cringy. Enjoy.
Welcome to the short gameplay demonstration trailer for The Day Before, an upcoming open-world multiplayer survival game. The Day Before features a huge, stunningly detailed post-apocalyptic world destroyed by a terrible virus.
I'm running out of fuel.
Great, man. Awesome.
We'll look around here, I guess.
Shall we split up?
Yep.
I'll find out what's in the skyscraper.
Okay, and I'll look around here. Let's see what we have here. Alright. I have found a great cowboy hat. Tell her everything's alright. And there aren't any more guns in the valley.
Easy, cowboy.
Listen up. This is Woodbury Survivor Colony speaking. If you can hear this message, it means that we have opened our doors for new survivors. We can give you food and shelter and ensure your safety. Here are the coordinates.
Did you hear that?
Yep, I got a message too.
Great. Maybe I can sell my junk there and get myself a better rifle.
Let's find some fuel and go.
In the Survivor Colony, you can sell and buy any items, as well as cooperate with other players.
Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 fresh hands, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge.
In The Day Before, you can enter abandoned buildings and take whatever you want. The main thing is to be careful, because not all players are friendly.
Let's pick up some supplies and get out of here. Let's check it out.
Oh shit. Got company. Could use some help now.
The things are about to get heated.
Over here. You bastard! Oh shit!
Dude, there's too many of them. I gotta go upstairs.
Okay, I'm running toward you.
The snowstorm is starting right now, and the temperature is falling fast. Remember that when you shoot and make unnecessary noise, it can attract unwanted guests even more terrifying than other players. The world of The Day Before is teeming with hungry hordes of bloodthirsty infected, ready to tear you to pieces.
Phew, that was close. You should have seen this shit.
It seems he dodged a bullet. Now he's crafting a bandage so he doesn't die from bleeding.
Hey, are you upstairs already? Shit. Psst, where are you?
a 4 coming soon.
The voice acting was super cringy, right? And maybe you can see exactly where I'm coming from. The game looks great, like groundbreaking for the open world zombie survival genre, but there is a lot of potential for it to also be a total bust with a fancy trailer. It looks to be that the developer, Fantastic, is a small indie dev team based out of Yakutsk, Russia, which, fun fact, I found out during my research that it's one of the 2 coldest cities in the entire world, with an average temperature of -8 degrees. Yeah, Burr is right. But my point is, for a small dev team with only one top-down bird's-eye survival game under their belt that's currently available on Steam, I don't know if they can really surmount a project of this size and everything come out okay on the other side. I've been burned a lot lately on getting into this overhype, so for the day before, if you want my opinion, don't know why you would, but if you do, I'd say be cautiously excited. The trailer looks great, but it's a heavily doctored and staged reveal trailer. So add it to your wish list, follow them on Twitter, and sit it out. Anyways, for the system requirements you'll need to play, you're going to be looking at an i5 CPU for both minimum and recommended, RAM of 10GB minimum and 16 for recommended, and at least a GTX 960 or AMD R7 for your graphics. Now, if you want to discuss the game further, hop into our Discord. We have over 400 open world survival gamers, or come over to the live stream. We can talk there. Both links are in the description below, or check out another open world game coming up right now.